Hello, my beautiful people. Welcome back to the Enlightenment Show. If you're new here, my name is Dan Ankada and I'm a counseling psychologist. So I normally have counseling sessions, online and physical therapy. For the online sessions, I'm going to give you my number on the bio, but for the physical sessions, we're going to meet at Juja Road Hospital, that is at Ruiru Kiunguro, or at AR Mountain Mall. But today I'm here to talk about a different topic rather than what I normally do. I want to talk about mental health while living alone. So the reason I've chosen this topic is because most people normally experience depression, anxiety, as well as loneliness when they start living alone. On my previous video, I've talked about things that you need to know before living alone. And I hope you've watched that video before coming here. So I thought of what if now you've already started living alone, but you feel like you're not progressing in life, you feel like you're experiencing depression, anxiety. What are some of the things that you need to change on the ground? And I'm here to help you. So I'm going to categorize people who live alone into two different categories. The first one is people who live alone, but they normally go to work each and every day, and people who live alone, but they work from home. The reason I've done this is because people who are living alone, but then they are going to work each and every day, they have high level of productivity, creativity, and their mental health is way much healthier than people who work from home. So, but my video, I'm going to address both categories because I'm going to talk about mental health while living alone. In most cases, we normally spend our time working and giving out, rendering services outside there so that you can be able to get money for survival, and yet we forget ourselves. Living alone, people who live alone, there is high rate of depression, anxiety, and loneliness, and also suicide tendency because of the loneliness. I said on my previous video, loneliness is a disease. So when you live alone, there's a way that you need to live so that you can be maintaining your mental health and your well-being as an individual. To cut the long story short, I'm going straight to the point, things that you need to do so that you can be able to have a healthy mental health and to curb these challenges of loneliness and depression, anxiety. The first one is always make a meal. Living alone is an environment whereby you need to grow as an individual so that even when you get a partner or you get married, there is that you as a person who has discovered themselves and you're able to attain your goals. But if you're not able to do this thing as an individual and you get influence outside there, you'll be in an atmosphere whereby you're not in a position to grow, you know. But now, when you live alone and create healthy routines, and you're able to know yourself, you're going to grow as a holistic person with a goal and agenda and even a purpose in life. And when doing these small things that I'm going to tell you, they are going to help you to grow. And these small things is what makes you become a better version of yourself. The first thing, as I had mentioned, is making a meal. Always purpose to have 3 meals in a day. If you can afford, like even if it's breakfast and supper, that's perfect. What you need to do is to purpose to make a meal that you can be able to enjoy. This is going to give you a sense of well-being, a sense of self-love, and even you're going to understand what you love and what you hate. When living alone, it's way much different from living with your parents, because when you are in an environment where you have a family or in a family setup, you're always reminded or decisions are made for you. But making a meal or deciding what you're going to have for that day, that's already a big decision when living alone. So it is important to always understand that making a meal is one goal that you're going to achieve when living alone. No one is going to remind you what to eat or even create for you that meal. It's up to you to decide. This is what happens for people who normally live alone. They will prefer taking out or eating smoky pasua or chapati just to, you know, to push the day. They won't be creative to wash that utensils and to create for themselves a meal. How are you able to do this consistently? The first thing you need to do, if you are lazy, you can always have a meal plan for the whole week. The second thing, there's no need of wasting your resources. If you're going to cook your supper, that supper, cook enough so that you can be able to carry it forward for lunch. When you cook this food in a very hygienic environment, it can be able to be preserved to the next day for lunch. Or if you're staying at home, cook lunch that is enough for supper. That is how easy it is to, to solve this puzzle of creating a meal for a day. The second thing is dehydrating. It's very important to always drink water. For some reason, people don't have they don't have the discipline of taking water. They normally assume instead of taking water, they will replace it with soda, they will replace it with alcohol or any other beverage. But if you create that habit that you're going to always drink water consistently, it also develops a character of doing things intentionally, with a specific goal. These are the things that we don't want to do, but we have to do because of self love, for the sake of our well being. Another thing is when you're living alone, always purpose to be clean. Cleanness is next to godliness. I told you, if you want to live alone because you are tired of doing house chores at your mother's place or wherever you're living, that's the same attitude that you're going to bring while living alone. But when you have this environment that is always clean, your clothes are always folded, your bed is always spread, you purpose to wash your utensils and do some laundry, this is going to make you more organized. Someone once said, if your bedroom is very disorganized, it shows you how your mind is. The moment you're not capable of organizing your space from the inside, even when you go outside there, you're going to be disorganized, you know. And a simple task as making your bed, that is the first achievement of the day that you're having. It gives you a sense of feeling satisfied, and also it creates your personality to be someone who is organized, to be somebody who is ambitious, and even who is someone who is very intentional with themselves. Another thing I want to say is always have hobbies or do something, have a routine like workout. That's very important. So when living alone, workout will help you with your sleep, it will help you with your weight loss, it helps you with stress, and also it's going to help you with having fun with your own self, like enjoying your own company. If you are always at home and you're working from home, you're not going anywhere, your body is stiff and stagnant in one environment. But that workout, it will make you more productive, creative, also enjoying who you are. On my previous video, I talked about having goals and ambition when living alone, because when you live alone, there's high rate, or there's the highest chance you're going to be distracted with the worldly desires. Let me tell you, for example, when you live alone, there's that freedom, and most time you're going to find yourself spending money and doing whatever you want. But now, when you have goals and ambition, this is going to help you to grow as an individual. For example, if you're always at home, instead of scrolling your TikTok or staying on social media, first thing, always create time for yourself, create time for learning something new, create time to get knowledge, create time for working, create time for something that is more constructive. Let it not be like, since you don't have a schedule, you don't have someone to tell you what to do or a calendar, but you're just living a reckless life. Have a plan in life. have an agenda of what you love to achieve at the end of the day, at the end of the week, or even at the end of the month. Those small goals that you're going to have, they are going to reflect on the kind of a person that you're going to be, you know. And my final thing, but not the last thing I'll love to say, is concerning budgeting. When living alone, budgeting is the most important part of your life. Having putting each and every expenses you have down, like write each and everything that needs to be paid and the expenditure. For example, if it's your house rent that is already constant, your electricity bill and your water bills, those are constant expenditure. Then the next thing, understand concerning food. How do you eat food? Do you need to buy it monthly or weekly, so that you can be able to plan? Another thing concerning your expenses, put some money for medical bill, a little money for enjoyment, and another money for emergency. Anything can happen when living alone. So with that, I think I've exhausted most things that people ignore, and yet you need to do them. And my video is to inspire you, is to remind you that these little things that you normally ignore are the ones that are going to cost you your mental health. And no one is going to remind you, no one is going to follow up on you, no one is going to check up on you. When living alone, you are your own security, your own mother, your own caregiver, your own friend. So when you develop all these things, or you cultivate a culture within you, it's a way that you're going to have high self-esteem, you're going to be good in decision making, you're going to be an achiever, you're going to be ambitious, you're going to be creative, you're going to have control over your life. But the other side of this story is this: if you're living alone and you're living a reckless life, that's where you find yourself having early pregnancies, you're cohabiting, you are in relationship seeking for love, you're engaging in drugs because you're depressed, you're seeking for friendship because of loneliness, you're having anxiety because of self-doubt, you're always sabotaging yourself because you didn't have a plan when living alone. But now, when you're living alone and you follow this small routine, or these steps that I've given you, or this guidance that I've told you, you're going to be a better person and you're going to be a better version of yourself. 2024 resolution, purpose to be the best version of yourself. Have a good time and thank you for watching till the end. See you again. Bye. Make sure you subscribe, like, and comment.